Well, hello everyone. It is Karynjean and welcome back. I know it's been about a week. It is now a week before Christmas 2023. I hope you're all doing well. What I've decided to do today is Junk Journal January is coming up. I completely forgot about it. And as I was loading up my I don't want, it's not a craft, my container with my tea bags, taking them out of the box and putting them in there, I was like, Junk Journal January is coming up, and I love tea, and of course, cooking and baking. That's really what I've been very busy, very busy in the kitchen with Christmas a week away. But what I've decided what we can do today is we can make the journal that we'll use for Junk Journal January. Now, also it's going to be a little bit different, and I'm still figuring it out as I go, what else is new. This measures, I cut it down, this measures 7 by 6 1/4. So, I was thinking, and this would have been the spine for it. That was the edge of the box, but I cut it all down. I was thinking of doing it the same way we did July with the rings. That way I could take pages out as we're working on them and put them back in. And I think probably that's what it's going to be, because I mean, I don't want to do an accordion thing. This spine was going to be too big, I thought, this spine. Not to mention, by having it on rings, it's easier to get in and out. So, I have no idea what we're doing, but we're doing something. So, I don't want to cover this up, but it is rather thin. It needs to be reinforced, and we can reinforce that simply by gluing down a piece of paper. Tea is going to be the theme that I carry through, I think, hopefully. You never know where it's going to go. Or kitchen stuff, like, right? This is the flour sack, and this is the sugar sack. This here is a bunch of 8x8 that came with one of the Crafter's Companions, like all their card making things. And these are heavier, so I think I'm just going to put this on the inside of the covers to reinforce them. Let me put this aside for a moment. What I also have here is my 8x8 paperweight paper. And then there's this, let's take a look at this. There's this 12x12 paper pad. Here are the prompts. Let's see how big this is. Can I cut it down? Oh, I'm sure I can cut it down. We'll glue this to the inside front cover. But I have this paper pad. It was on clearance for $5. That's why I got it. I think I got it at Michael's. It's like a workout paper pad. Yeah, right. But $5, and I figured, if we use it, I could use it to collage on, or it even has some of these solid colors that I could do something with it. Of course, I haven't done anything with it yet, so I was actually thinking of just using this, or maybe some of these. Now, in the July journal, I used cardstock, and we did, I did one piece for 2 days because I used front and back. I don't know if I want to do that this time. I think I might want the 31 pieces for each to be able to stand on its own. And then I was thinking, well, if I want each to stand on its own, then I should just have like solid color like this. Yeah. So I don't know. I need to figure this out. So help me figure this out. Let's look at the prompts. Resolutions. I don't believe in resolutions. Quote, throwback, tuck spot, daily log, memory, stitched, neutral, foliage, layered, eclectic, torn edges, garden, pattern, opposites, flow, whimsical, borders, interactive, nature, peeking out, bookshelf, texture, fabric, ombre, translucent, lyrics, grungy, geometric, travel, and reflect. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, friends. Let me put this aside. Let me pull this out. See if I might be able to make that smaller. Make it a little smaller. Okay, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. What I was trying to do was to see if I could print this image smaller, but I can't. The image is on my phone, obviously. So I just started just tearing it away. That's what I'm doing. And let's see what we have. Yeah, but I think I still want something underneath this because this is the cover. So what did I say? 7 by 6 1/4. 7 by 6 1/4. What I think I'll do is just get a little bit of cardstock. Okay, I just cut down a couple of pieces, so I'm going to glue it down using wet glue, and then I will use glue stick on the hello. Like I said, it's been a week. You know, between being in the kitchen and taking winter's naps, and not that I take long winter's naps. I can't sleep during the day. And if by chance I do happen to fall asleep during the day, it totally messes with my mind and my sense of time and stuff. I just get all discombobulated, so I don't. There you go. Use your cutting plate for your. There we go. All right, now, and it needs to be trimmed off a little bit. I need to reach over here to get this. All right. Making sure. Yes, it is on my fingers. Oh my goodness. Today's a very rainy day here. It's also in the 50s, for goodness sakes. So, get you down. So it is unseasonably warm, right? Guess we can thank global warming for that. Just cornstarch my fingers, thank you. Oops. Now this is gonna need a little bit of time to dry, so we're gonna, but it's already much more sturdy. Here we go. If you zigzag as opposed to using a straight line, even if you just do little zigzags, it's more gripping area and power for the glue as opposed to a straight line. Just saying. Got glue on my fingers. I like using this. I grabbed this. It's over here, right, with some of my other things. But, you know, I was going for this. But this one was sticking out, and this is the one I grabbed. And I actually like it because it has some thickness to it. Okay, so this needs to be trimmed down a little bit, but we'll worry about that later. No, we won't. We'll do it now. Why not? I shouldn't have a problem. Just use the box as the guide. And actually what I might decide to do is, as each day comes, just depending upon what the prompt is for the day, pick out a piece of base paper, right? Pick out a piece of base paper, and then we'll bind it together when we're done. That's an interesting concept. Oh. We have something coming out here. Oh. I didn't do too good making sure the glue got to the edges and in the corners, even after my demonstration about zigzag and stuff. Okay. There. So there's that. Right, there's that. I think we'll probably just use the solids, because these here, let me test it. This is thinner than this. So we'll just use solids. We might even use, I know in the other one I used the cardstock weight. Some I might want to actually use watercolor paper on, because I might want to decide to watercolor. Got a little bump there, don't know what it is. So, what do you think? That's all I can think about at the moment, truth be told. I was just thinking, I wonder, remember when we were kids in school and we had quiet time where we put our heads down on our desks? I wonder how long we did that for, what the concept of time was. All right, what I'm doing is I am going through this and I'm pulling out the blues because the box is blue and I like blue. So we have 1, 2, 3. I think there's another one in there. No, 1, 2, 3. This is kind of a green. These also don't feel as heavy. 4, 5, 6. These definitely feel heavier than these. Bear with me just a second here. Because now I'm thinking, well, I'd rather use these instead of wasting a larger sheet of like 8.5 by 11 or 12 by 12 or something. So, all right. I think I pulled out 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. That feels heavier too. 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16. $18, $19, $20, $21, $22, $23, $24, $25, $26, $27, $28, $29, $30, $31. What do you think? Okay. Those, put these aside, but there's also, I do want to use this paper pad. Where's that sheet I just pulled out? This. I don't think there's any purple over here. Calendars, we could use 4 of those. Well, the thing was, I was saying that because, yeah, because these are not double-sided, and then we could use these to help decorate. These, so these need to be cut down. But let's have a look-see. And I think for day 7 stitch, that we'll do that last, because we will then stitch this all together. I think that'll be how we bind it instead of rings. We'll figure that out. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'm doing it. I'm gonna go cut these down and I'll be back. Okay, so these are all cut down to that. But now I had an idea for these. Oh, goodness. The scraps here. Let's see. This is a nice size. Now, these, the smaller scraps, the 1-inch scraps. They should be 1 inch wide anyway. Here we go. those we'll save. These here. Oops. Now, we're going to cut these down to 1 inch as well. Hopefully, right? These are 1 inch. 1 inch. Just going to do, I think I'm just, at the moment, I'm just going to do one of each color. I don't know how many, just to get 1 inch squares. Okay, so what I've done here is, I will show you this 1/4 inch, Alexa, music off, 1/4 inch wide black. When I was cutting these here squares, I realized for the idea that I have, oh, here's another one, is because they're going to be glued down, is why not first put double-sided adhesive on them before cutting them down, which is what I did. And then I also went into my scraps, right, to see what I had there that I might want to incorporate in this stained glass idea that I have. Again, I'm using 1 inch squares with a 1/4 inch wide black to separate them. You guys can use whatever. And I'm sure in future iterations of this, I will probably use something else entirely. So I have, these were from my scraps. Let's see what we have here. That pink, a little bit of green, aside from the solids. And I just want to separate them so, oh, excuse me. Now, I'm using black to separate them. You could just eyeball it. You don't actually need to. Let's see if I can get these colors separated. But whatever I use to separate them, I want it to be a smooth surface, which is why I cut out the black. The idea that I had, the idea that I saw, not my idea, I want to make that clear that it's not my idea, was the person, it was just a picture, and it was like this, of squares, different color greens. I'm just going to use this as an example, right? It was like this, it was like this, it was like this, and just separate it out, and just a few like that to give it a bit of an argyle look, right? Maybe she used smaller squares or something, I don't know. Like that. And then they were just green, just maybe the same color green or different color greens, and a sentiment Merry Christmas on it, and just decorate it a little bit. That's all. That was the idea for a card, which was, I thought, a nice idea. But what I'm going to do is, and that idea is very simple, right? You see that there? Very simple idea. But I've decided to, for like a journaling card, and I don't know if it's going to be for the Junk Journal January or whatever, but let's just see how this is going to go. Now this does not have, I realize I'm putting that out of your field of vision. I just need a little bit more room here. They don't have double-sided adhesive on them, which is perfectly fine. Right, okay, so we can make a big one. This is a little bit too big. I might need to cut this down. This is 8.5, right? 8.5 by 4. So if we take 2.5 inches off of this, yeah, 2.5, make it and 1 inch that way. Okay, sorry. So we're going to take 2.5 off of it here. We're going to take 1 inch off of it here. There. Now, I could start it. All right, let me start it this way. The release paper back on it. Okay, and now I'm going to cut that off there. Okay, I don't remember where I left it off, so I'm going to show you what I did. This is still wet. And I had to cut more because I ran out. That actually, to me, looks more like stained glass with the black leading in between. There, I was squeezing for all I was worth. I think I must be running out on that one. But here is one where I put the 1/4 inch strips down as I was going and laying them in there. Here's another one. I framed it out with black first because I wanted an actual frame to make it look like a window, right, all around it. Here's one where I put them down on black cardstock and just eyeballed the distance between them. And here's one where I just put them on cardstock up against each other, obviously on the angle, like so, the diamond pattern. And then I use the silver liquid pearls to do the veining. This is very forgiving because you could see here and like this here, some of them weren't matching up. They were off kilter and stuff. It wasn't a smooth. They would be like this, right? So you're laying them out. This one goes here, and then this one goes here. And then, okay, one goes in here, except they're not, you know, perfect 1 inch squares. So things get a little wonkadoodle, right? They get a little wonkadoodle. So, so yeah, so there's different ways to, and I'm not sure because it's a mess. And obviously, like I said, that one is still wet. using the 1/4-inch strips to frame it out. Just putting it on black cardstock and eyeballing the distance between them. And there's, again, the 1/4-inch strips, but also making a complete frame with the 1/4-inch strips. And then black liquid pearls and silver liquid pearls. Which one's your favorite? This one I think is my favorite, the silver, as opposed to the black. I like that a lot. It's a great scrap buster, man. 1-inch squares. Well, thank you so much for being with me. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying the holiday season. Don't let your imagination hold you back. Take it out for a wild ride. I'll see you next time.